Tom and Jerry. Do I need to explain this iconic cat and mouse duo? No, I won't. Too bad. Get bent. This cat and mouse duo, created and directed by the late William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, were the breakout stars for MGM back in the 1940s, winning more Academy Awards than any other cartoon character in history and paving the way for a groundbreaking style in the entertainment empire. Because of their brutal slapstick comedy, Tom and Jerry shorts are widely regarded as some of the most violent cartoons ever produced. It is still controversial because of how insanely violent it is. We ignore the racism and stereotypes. Shush! Millions of people adore and remember these shorts, even to the present day. People enjoy watching Tom and Jerry. But what if they don't want to watch it in standard definition? But what about 1080p full HD without the use of AI upscaling? To understand why I'm making this pointless video about Tom and Jerry cartoons, we'll need to know a few key names. Original camera negative, also known as OCN. The film used in a traditional film-based movie camera to capture the initial image is referred to as the original camera negative. This version of the film will serve as the template for all subsequent ones. It is known as the raw stock before exposure. Technicolor. A color motion capture system with 3 strips for film. The gauge is 35mm. A lot of big films use this, including Disney, Paramount, and obviously MGM. METROCOLOR. METROCOLOR is the brand name used by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer for films that are developed in their laboratory. Almost all of these films were shot on Eastman color Kodak films. The gauge is 16mm, 1 motion capture system on a strip. Safety negatives. The safety film was developed to replace combustible nitrate film. Despite the fact that the flammability issue has been addressed, safety negatives can degrade due to their unstable chemical composition. Reissue. Reissues are modified versions of the original content that are re-released. For example, certain elements may be removed or replaced. Now that you are aware of these key names for the video, let's discuss the origins of these films and the initial purpose of their creation. When film prints of any genre, studio, live action, or animated, were sold for television distribution in the late 1950s and early 1960s, 16mm duplicate negatives were used, and 16mm prints did not have the access to the superior Technicolor color process that the original 35mm prints did. Instead, they had to make do with the more subpar color processes for television, such as METROCOLOR. Classic MGM cartoons were reprocessed in METROCOLOR when purchased for television or given theatrical re-releases in the 1960s. The MGM cartoon line emblem seen on many of these METROCOLOR prints is actually from Gene Deitch's Tom and Jerry cartoons, which were published in the early 1960s and color processed in METROCOLOR. End of the video, right? I just explained it. No! What was the reasoning behind Warner Bros. Use of METROCOLOR prints for some of the restored cartoons? The George Eastman house fire occurred in 1978. The majority of the pre-1951 Tom and Jerry original camera negatives were destroyed in this fire. Puss Gets the Boot, The Night Before Christmas, The Little Orphan, Love That Pup, Jerry's Diary, and His Mouse Friday all survived the 1978 George Eastman house fire. Now that we got everything out of the way, let's actually proceed. But first, we must determine which specific cartoons are restored in METROCOLOR for accuracy. Puss in Toots, The Bowling Alley Cat, The Suffering Cat, The Lonesome Mouse, The Zoo Cat, The $1 Million Cat, Putting It on the Dog, Mouse Trouble, Quiet Please, The Milky Way, Heavenly Puss, and Jerry's Diary were all restored in METROCOLOR. However, Jerry's Diary was restored in METROCOLOR? But the OCN still exists. Why did they restore the cartoon using the awful METROCOLOR print of Jerry's Diary? Honestly, I'm not sure. Warner Bros. Might be simply being stupid, or simply wanting to, I suppose. Now, for the comparisons and oddities. The primary alterations, which are the ones that are present in all these cartoons, will be discussed first. First, the colors in general. It darkens the dark colors to extremes, e.g., Jerry's skin is really brown. Reduces the complexity of the Technicolor 3-strip 35mm film system, e.g., Tom's original bluish gray fur is changed to a very dark blackish gray color. Washes out the lighter, brighter, and complex colors. Desaturates the color of the prints. I'm gonna point out some things. These 35mm Technicolor prints are from DVD sets and haven't been restored. The METROCOLOR restorations, or restorations in general, have slightly superior audio quality. These images, dubbed Turner prints because they come from Turner Entertainment when they own Tom and Jerry, are actually cropped. Instead of 1.371, these prints are 4:3. Strange. These are not cropped in the sense of making the video smaller for the aspect ratio. Rather, they are smaller by eliminating parts of the film to compensate for the aspect ratio. This loses some of the detail, not much, but I enjoy seeing movies and films and cartoons as they were meant, so this upsets me greatly. When Warner Brothers re-released the Ted Turner prints for their Spotlight collections and other DVD Tom and Jerry collections back in the early and late 2000s, and even in 2019 with the Tom and Jerry Spotlight 1 through 3 collection, these had random borders around the MGM cartoon logo and the Tom and Jerry title screen. I have no idea why. There is no official statement about it that I can find. Let us now examine the precise distinctions, beginning with we start off with the different MGM logo, and yep, that is it.
Oh, well?
It's literally just Puss in Toots, but with subpar colors. Now on to this one is a really bad one. This will be one out of a few shorts where I discuss specific differences on. But weren't the general differences already listed? Yeah, they were. But I want to audibly discuss very strange things I found in this METROCOLOR remaster. This will be one of the few shorts I will actually do this. We start off with the 1960s MGM logo. Standard blue is just black or a very dark green, I can't really tell. Red is now a very slight brownish red. The inside of Tom's mouth is the darkest red ever. Some scenes are very grainy and kind of gross looking. Some scenes have dark backgrounds with nothing but black. The lower half of the scene is now completely black. The middle half of the scene is completely black. At the end, the inside of the hole is black and the sky is a slight blue-green.
Am I tweaking?
It's not your fault. You're just a stupid
And that's the terrible remastering of the bowling alley cat. It is one of the worst, but definitely not the worst. Those are the last two cartoons, so get ready to see how bad that looks. It's very unfortunate that the restored version looks this way because I really like the bowling alley cat. Now on to... We start off with the 1960s MGM logo. The title screen is very strange. 3/4 of the entire picture is black, and the text is brighter than looking at your phone at full brightness at 4 a.m. That is really it, actually. Just suffering cats with worse color.
I'm from the IRS, and I've come to attack your...
Get your ass back here, boy!
Bro, do it. It's a dare. It's a dare. Oh!
Now on to... We start off with the...
It's perfect, my dear shepherds.
Now on to... Besides the obvious intro, the title screen is a different color. It's brown instead of green. Odd. METROCOLOR usually keeps its green color quite well, so I don't know why it is made like this. This case that Jerry's in is rose red instead of purple. The blue hole on Tom's guitar is plain black now, and this short suffers a lot from really grainy scenes similar to those specific scenes in the bowling alley cat. At least we got Tom's sexy ass zoot suit in 1080p.
What's jumping, chick?
Bro, if I was a chick and some motherfucker pulled up to my door and said, "What's jumping, chick in a zoot suit?" I would remember the law and call the police. Hey, so while I'm editing this, I just realized that, you know, all these shorts are really grainy, but what I meant by really grainy scenes is that some scenes are more grainy than the others, so that's what I mean by that. Sorry for the confusion.
What's jumping, chick?
I love you. When I'm with you, I'm what you call a hip cat. I am hip to the jive. I'm in the groove, darling.
Now you're really sending me, Jackson.
Now you set my soul on fire. It is not just a little spark. It is a flame. A big roaring flame. I can feel it now. It is burning. 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 Say, something is burning around here.
Now on to... My mouth is so dry from just doing so many takes reading these because I always stutter. It's getting ridiculous, honestly. I'm going to pair the $1 Million Cat and putting it on the dog for one reason. These are very colorful cartoons, and METROCOLOR destroyed that. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I'm going to pair Mouse Trouble, Quiet Please, and the Milky Wave together because these shorts don't suffer as much from METROCOLOR. It's evident that it has been restored in METROCOLOR, but it doesn't look all that horrible when compared to the other 10 shorts. So yep, decent looking cartoons. We have now reached the final two cartoons. I have already said how horrendous these 16mm METROCOLOR reprints are. I would pair these two together, but they both have extremely apparent issues of their own. These cartoons are Heavenly Puss and Jerry's Diary. These two cartoons look depressed and miserable looking. It stinks because Heavenly Puss is one of my favorite shorts, and why did Heavenly Puss have to be one of them? What? Mourning over a cartoon aside, first up is Heavenly Puss. This is a long paragraph. Oh my god, dude. We start off with the original logo? Yeah, Heavenly Puss doesn't use the 1960s METROCOLOR logo. Instead, the Technicolor 1940 to late 1950s logo. Oh god, the Tom and Jerry logo. What happened to you?
METROCOLOR happened.
You know a remaster is horrible when the logo is Oh lord, the credits! Where's the beautiful detail at? Why is it gone in just black? The text is brighter than waking up in VR chat. Everything is aggressively dark. Tom is discolored from light bluish gray to very dark blue. There are literally scenes where so much detail is gone and it is just black. One of the best scenes is destroyed because of how awful this METROCOLOR print is. When Tom is going up the escalator to heaven, 80% of the detail is gone. All the pretty looking blue is now black. The only praise I have is Cat Heaven's background is darker, and I prefer it because the colors look better dark in my opinion. The detail and obviously the colors look atrocious when the conductor lets cats and kittens pass through the gate to the train to heaven. Yes! I can finally have drowned kittens in METROCOLOR! The Devil Dog's introduction scene looks bad because some of the Devil Dog's parts are dark and almost blend in with the rest of his body. Earlier I stated that there are scenes that lose so much detail and it's just black. But this helps one element, the ticking clock. It looks more intimidating because it is quite literally a dark area with the only thing that is light is the ticking clock to heaven. Oh yeah, second praise. The ink is the darkest blue I've ever seen. Jerry's mouse hole is straight up a dark void of black now. When Tom is falling into hell, the background's colors are messed up. And finally, the end title looks gross.
Yeah, 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 yeah. 7 a.m. waking up in the kitchen, gotta get
Money! 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 Ah!
And that's the utterly appalling remaster of Heavenly Puss. Since this is one of my favorite Tom and Jerry cartoons, I detest the fact that it had to be this one. This cartoon appears to have been recolored but with only a 12-pack box of crayons available. But we're not done. We still have one more. I can do this. This paragraph is even longer. I'm gonna... Alright, here we go. The Jerry's Diary remaster is just horrible! This uses the 1940 through late 1950s MGM logo. The logo looks weird. All the detail on the title screen is gone. You can barely see those two objects on the book. The colors are even worse than Heavenly Puss. The scenes, that are original, have ugly, gross colors and tons of wrong or washed out than usual, and aggressively dark colors, like the inside of Jerry's hole. But the reason why this cartoon is considered the worst remaster of Tom and Jerry ever is because everything is wrong with their reused scenes? Let me explain. A few cartoons of Tom and Jerry are actually cheat cartoons. They make few original animations and mainly use scenes from other cartoons. Basically a high quality montage. Keep in mind that the cartoon clips shown in this cheat cartoon have Technicolor remasters that Warner restored, except for Mouse Trouble, which somehow looks worse than the actual METROCOLOR restore. Since this cartoon is restored in METROCOLOR, instead of doing some simple editing and just replacing clips, they also restored the awful METROCOLOR versions of these cartoons.
What the pussy?
Why would you do that? You can just edit them to use the Technicolor 35mm restores. Why spend the effort in remastering clips of the METROCOLOR versions? T for Two, Dog Trouble, Solid Serenade, and the Yankee Doodle Mouse are used. I don't want to drag this video out, so I will describe how these cartoons look at once. They all look like doo-doo feces.
And as long as I got my suit and tie, I'ma leave it all on the floor tonight. And you got fixed up to the nines. Let me show you a good thing.
This one is awful. The Technicolor version is still around and hasn't been lost, but Warner, being a moron, didn't even try using the original and better Technicolor print. Without good reason, they used a terrible 16mm METROCOLOR print. Even replacing the recycled clips wasn't even attempted. The exerted effort to accomplish that. And we finally succeeded. Every Tom and Jerry distortion in METROCOLOR is discussed and given a description. There is still a question that you might have. Therefore, we are not through yet. Why didn't they use the Technicolor reissues and safety negatives of these cartoons if they exist? They were employed for DVDs. And the only thing I can say is that there is absolutely no solution. However, I do have a theory. Please do not accept this as fact. It is merely a theory. But first we need some context, so here's some history. These cartoons were created with Tom and Jerry Golden Collection in mind. The HD remastered versions of Tom and Jerry were marketed as being uncut and authentic. In the late 2000s to the early 2010s, every short film was completely remastered. They only released one volume before being placed on indefinite hold. Therefore, these cartoons have only been available on iTunes and streaming services for the past 2.5 years. Realizing this, Warner, in my opinion, wanted to maintain their position, but the reissues and safety negatives modified a few details, so they decided against using it because they desired authenticity. They only employed such reprints when they made no other changes. I think the METROCOLOR versions of 12 of these shorts were the only remaining uncensored, unedited editions of these films. Hey, editor's note here. The METROCOLOR shorts are actually reissues, and they actually modified the shorts, but they didn't actually modify the actual shorts. They modified the title screens and the MGM logo. Yeah, I don't feel like rewriting the entire thing because I made a simple mistake. Just take my word for it, but remember the METROCOLOR shorts are technically reissues. So they had no choice but to use them, even though Jerry's Diary is still around. However, what about the safety negatives that were probably the best original version? Perhaps they decayed over time due to their chemical composition and were difficult to recover. Woo! We made it! We have reached the finish line! I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I am a terrible procrastinator, so this took a long time. You can follow me and subscribe to my social media sites listed, as well as join my newly created Discord server. So, there you go. Next time, I'll see you all. Bye.